You know what? I'm not gonna lie. It's still really fucking crazy to me what happened with Infinity Nikki.
Yeah,
I don't know that
weird.
that shit just pisses me off. It's like make a good game, put all this money into a fucking game just to like be like, oh, by the time 2.0 comes out, it's about to be trash. And not gonna lie, that's what I'm kind of scared for Zenless. I'm really,
Uh,
I'm really scared for Zenless right now because all the other Hoyo games, maybe around like 2.0 or 3.0, maybe the games turn garbage apparently, and start doing practices that are not fucking good at all. So I'm giving Zenless the benefit of the doubt, even though it's from the same exact company, that maybe they'll exceed my expectations. Because right now they're doing like, oh, we have all these humble apologies and we have all these humble things that we're willing to do, and we want to make the game better for our players. We want to listen to them. Well, the rest of your company would say otherwise. That nobody else is being fucking humble. Everybody else wants to have all these fucking microtransactions. Like, bro, why is there so much controversy around just the anniversary of a game? Like, you'd think that with the anniversary of a gacha game, that they would celebrate alongside the players because the players are the ones actually pushing their game mostly. Like, they already have money technically, but they're getting extra money from the players and investors and all these and whales and all this other stuff, where it's like, oh, like these new characters came out. Let me spend $200 to get the character and C6 them and do all these things and do all this free advertisement, do all these sponsorships, and do countless fucking advertisement. There's advertisement all the fucking time for Genshin. Still. And people are still calling Genshin a shit game. Yet they still have advertisement like they're the best game in the world. And it's really stupid. Because it's like, you guys are not like. I can only hope that Zenless will be the last one. I can only hope that after 2.0, Zenless won't go to shit for some reason.
I will say, like, I don't know about Honkai. Like, I know people might say it, but I don't really have an issue with it because, at least in my opinion, like, yes, like for example, like they have a recent update that happened, and yeah, it was like kind of payola forward, because it's like, they had like I did buy like the dollar bundle deal. It was like $1, and I think I bought like the $5 one because it wasn't actually that bad because I think it was like $5, and you log in for 5 days, you get 5 passes plus you got like some extra shit for the logins.
You
Those two are fine. It was just there's another one that I just like that it's with the whole thing, but it was like you spend money on the premium, so like like the premium credits, and then you get some benefits. Like that's the part that I think was like over the top. But I feel like it's like at least with Honkai, it's not like you have to do it. It's more like it's optional. Like if you do it, you do it. You get the rewards. But like
well, the
it,
the
but
funny
it's really encouraging whales.
the funny thing about Honkai is, from what I heard with their anniversary was, they had something where, I don't know, for some specific character with their events and whatever, they were basically encouraging whales to spend money on the game, at least $3,000 on it, just to like get all these in-game rewards or something like that. This is just what I've heard. I'm not saying this is exactly what happened, but this is what I heard
Um,
on their
okay, so
anniversary.
the way it is, because the university is still going now. It's basically like this. So, um, I don't remember the exact rewards off the top of my head, but basically it's like the more you spend, the better the rewards you get. So, like for example, let's say you spend the maximum. There's things like on there like basically like there's this like new mechanic where they give you certain like it's like a little kind of like a pity reward system where like for example, let's say you pull and like you didn't get like the character you wanted, there's a way to like buy a like 5-star that's like on this like little banner to buy. So you could like basically use a pity kind of situation where you can buy the character. Now, like I said, they gave that out by if you're spending the credits on there. But what I'm saying is, I don't think that's like a okay. Now, way I see it, yeah, that's like encouraging people to spend money, but you don't have to spend money. Like it's really like an optional thing. It's not like it's just there. You know what I mean?
Well,
They
yeah,
still
I
gave
mean,
like 1,600 gems free.
well, I mean, honestly, obviously, you don't have to spend money, but if you do, you get extra rewards. And that's the thing about it. The people who have the money, the people with the sponsors and the whales and everything, they're gonna spend that money. So they're gonna make that extra money on the side. And from what I saw, I was watching this guy named Tectone. He was looking at basically the revenue for all these gacha games, and Honkai shot up like over 10K from last month just because of the revenue from that anniversary.
Right.
So I'm and this is despite the fact that he actually took some kind of break from the game because they put out a character with like a global passive, which everybody hates because it's like power creep, or you know, everybody has their thing. I don't necessarily pay too much attention to that sort of stuff because I don't know, I don't play Honkai or anything like that. I don't necessarily care too much, but everybody likes to everybody was talking about it, so it was kind of like they obviously don't want it. And when it happened, you know, the game did it anyways. They don't give a shit about what the players have to say, and they're just gonna give everything to who wants the money, who's gonna give them money. So that's exactly what they did. And despite that, they still got as much money as they wanted. So the only thing I can say now is Wuthering Waves is having some issue with Steam and Linux where they want to have this anti-cheat shit, which I'm just kind of like, I guess. I mean, Genshin and the other ones have the same thing. They need to. This is something that they should have worked on before they released it on Steam, especially since, you know, they have the Steam Deck and everything. I'm just kind of like, there's literally an OS for Steam. It's like, how did we not get this done beforehand? And that thing is kind of killing me right now. So I can wait. I have no issue with it, but I mean, y'all announced it like a month beforehand, and you still didn't do it for Steam Deck? And people are actively saying in the comments that they're giving negative reviews because it's not on Steam Deck. And it's like, you guys, I get that you put it on Steam, but it's not working for every aspect of Steam.
Excuse me?
I know it might be another thing, like, you know, porting something from console to PC, but this isn't really the case because it's all PC. But other than that, I don't know. It's just these companies and these gacha games are just getting ridiculous at this point. I can only hope that Zenless won't do it because they just came out with this new boss with Geppetto, and I love the music. They got good fucking dubstep and shit, and I hope they do not fuck it up, because if they fuck it up, I can't do it anymore. Because I'm just waiting for Ananta and stuff to come out to just do something crazy to kill them. And Infinity Nikki's actually really surprised me with the shit that they did, because I didn't even expect them to. Why the fuck did they reset the whole fucking game? That shit doesn't make any damn sense. It's like,
Alright.
we played that game for like 2 hours straight, and we didn't even get to a point where we were like experiencing any type of like meaningful story other than getting introduced to the townspeople. And within a couple months, they were just like, yeah, we're just resetting the game, I guess. Now your whole world is destroyed. You don't have access to anything. But hey, we got these clothes you can get that can make you fly in the air or float in the air. You can hold hands with your buddies. Well, what the fuck am I supposed to do with that? And the whole world is gone. What? I don't fucking understand it.
Yeah.
Alright, are you guys ready? Let's go back.
For what?
Apologies for the interruption. Y'all
Oh,
still
no,
playing Uno?
No, dude, we got off Uno like 30 minutes ago.
I went to go help my parents with something to eat.
I got you. So, I'm not getting on Uno. I don't feel like playing nothing. I just felt like ranting for a second.
My apologies. I played Power Water rounds. You may continue.
I got you. Man, we need these indie games to come out. I need Ananta to come out and like have good practices or neverness to everness. If Ananta comes out and does this shit right, I think we're gonna be good to go because we're gonna have, because this is the thing that's going to separate Ananta from the others at least, is what's it called? Since everybody's comparing it to GTA and they want to do it sort of like how GTA is doing it. I don't know exactly what they're gonna do, but I mean they have the whole open world aspect. There's not too much they can do, I think, that would warrant any type of power creep, just because it's kind of like you're in an urban area. Everybody can have like overpowering attacks and stuff, so it just kind of depends. Like, you're not gonna affect the entire city, you're only gonna affect like a small area, and the characters have some varied attacks to the point that you can kind of just play the game with anybody. I don't know. I can't unless they do something in the story where they like change the whole city like Fortnite or something like that. Which, granted, that would actually be pretty cool. But I'm glad we don't have a release date because I still want to get another PC or at least be able to try and run it on my Steam Deck. Because I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna need something strong for that game.
My thing is with like these games and stuff, like maybe it's just me, but like I'm not expecting like, you know, like, yeah, at the end of the day, people have to also remember like they're gonna just look out for money. Like none of the games like at least if they're made by a big company. I won't say like a small timer, you know what I mean? Because those have at least a chance of being like a little bit better, right? But like they're after money, like they're gonna it's gonna keep happening the same way regardless of the game, because it's like they're like free to play, then they want to basically like not be free to play, because they basically want it to be where it's like, okay, I'm like they want the free to play name, but they want the benefits of free to play, which is like potential like infinite money, basically. Like reality, that's what I think they're really after when they make free to play, because it's like sometimes like you see the games that like say they're free to play, and then it's like when they have some kind of payola aspect involved, it kind of doesn't send the free to play. Like, okay, like for example, like I will say the one thing for sure that like Honkai has like a negative is like the power creep is ridiculous, and like on the one hand I get it, because it's like stronger characters will kind of encourage you a bit to get a character, but when they introduce the character with the literal revive passive, and I mean like the benefit was like, say you're like a free to play player, right? And
Yeah.
you know you don't have like a good support type on your team. The global passive, like, oh, once you get this character, you basically get a global passive where you can get like a free revive every fight. That is good in the sense of, well, if you're free to play, you can invest your gems in the character, right? Pull the character, get the character, and then now, if you don't have a good support, you at least have like a somewhat of a chance to get back in the game, potentially, right? I see the benefit in that retrospect, and I also see the negative where the same people that potentially don't want to spend money to just get that same passive would be encouraged to spend the money.
Right.
So it works like it's like almost like a not that like it's like one of those things where it's like, hey, if you don't get this, you're basically completely nerfing your account. And I
Right.
think that's the part that is really the worst part about it.
You know, one thing I did see was so apparently, can you hear me good?
Yeah.
Okay, so apparently for Ananta, they were saying that I might actually be able to run it pretty good on my computer, because I think the minimum requirement. Well, I'm thinking that the requirements are going to be more, because they're saying for BlueStacks you only need like 4 gigs of RAM and some other stuff, but it's obviously going to need more. Like I don't believe it's only going to be like 4 gigs of RAM and like a low i5 or some shit. Like this shit is going to be like, you know, give me one sec. So yeah, I don't think I think Ananta's gonna need a good bit at least, but it's being made for PS5 and everything. I haven't seen anything about it being on what Unreal Engine is gonna be, or if it's going to be like anything specific on it. Well, it is being made by NetEase, so, and they are still working on it. So I'm gonna be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if they tried doing it on Unreal Engine 5 and everything, because NetEase are the same people. I think they made, yeah, they made Marvel Rivals. So, and they made Once Human, which I hate that game, can't run it very well. Yeah, no, I think I'm gonna have to get a new PC for this game, most likely, especially since it's gonna be on PS5.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, Ananta and Neverness are some huge projects right now. Like they're trying to contend with like GTA and Genshin and stuff like that, and it's gonna be like a full scale, like I don't know. The only thing we can do now is just see what they do. These damn companies, they want to act like they're big shit. And honestly, and the only reason they're doing these weird practices is because they can. So they just do it and everybody buys it up.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I agree. They definitely get away with it. Like okay, like I was saying, like when they had like, oh, like, you know, like we're doing like the $1 one, the $5 one, that was okay, right? And like I said, I still think the whole thing of, hey, if you do spend, you're gonna get really good reward. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but I feel like that's more like, hey, you're kind of given a choice. But when you have the character and it has like a broken ability, you understand what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that's when it's too much. Now it's not just, oh, you know, we have this character and, you know, we think they're going to be a good fit here. It's like, oh, no, we have this character and they're really probably the best character for everything, probably the best in the game. And yet here we are.
Now, I will say, Ananta seems to be, they have stated on this site that Ananta should be crossplay. So that'll be interesting if they can make it crossplay, which I think they do that for Rivals and stuff as well, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, if they can make it crossplay, oh, this game's gonna be big. All they gotta do now is like optimize it. If they can optimize this game and make it to where people with minimum specs can play, like granted, like, yeah, you'll probably have like shit graphics or something. If everybody can play this game, and they make it for PS4 as well, I think we're good to go. Now they're not releasing it on Xbox. So I see Steam, PlayStation, and like Google, Google Play, and iOS and Android. But no, I'm telling you, these companies, they get greedy, and then they just like, we just can't get a good fucking game anymore. It's like, it's always like a matter of, they had us in the first half, not gonna lie.
You got me the first week.
Right, it'd be like the first year of the game. Like, Zenless is about to have its anniversary, or it might be already out or something, but they're doing their anniversary. Now, I will say, the new characters that they had with the new story and stuff that they're having out, I will say I'm very interested in seeing what they do with it. And it was confirmed that the newest character, who's going to be like the big one, is not going to be a Void Hunter, which I'm happy about, because they're not going to be like, oh, well, like, we'll release a Void Hunter every patch. Like, you don't have to fucking do that. Like, it's not like a requirement that we shouldn't expect a Void Hunter every fucking patch. Like, that's ridiculous. Because now the expectation is that you have to exceed our expectations. But now when you make it to where we're not going to have any type of like Void Hunter for this entire patch, that's fine, because every other patch might even then might be okay. Like, I don't know, I don't really care. It's just, don't make your game formulaic. Don't make it so we can figure that shit out. Like, the story on Zenless is good because they wrap everything together on a nice bow. I love season 1. Everything was good. They made all the characters come together with their respective factions and had something to do. And I mean, even with Miyabi there, it was still good, because like, I don't even think Miyabi would like took center stage. It was like the entire team. And I kind of hope they do the same thing with their season 2 that they're calling it. They got this one chick coming out with who has like a gun for a tail, which is crazy, which I'm definitely summoning for. And they have confirmed that the Idol faction's coming out, which I'm summoning all 3 of them. So those are 4 guaranteed summons. And the only thing I can ask them to do is just keep fucking cooking. Keep doing the shit where we don't expect you to do stuff. Like, when we weren't expecting Miyabi to come out anytime soon was when the game was peak, because we were like, they were building up right. When Miyabi dropped, that shit was awesome. I don't know. And they made it with like a new, how do you say it? New element? Not a new element, but like a cross between like ice and fire. Frostburn. Ooh. Which is good as shit, by the way. But they are also, with what they've been doing is they've been putting out new kits for characters, and they're testing for Hollow Zero, and they've made it to where they're actually going to change some of the characters' movesets, which is crazy. They're going to make it so power creep isn't a thing. They're going to try to do it to where, oh, like, we'll update characters from the past so that way they're like comparable with the newer ones and stuff, which they didn't have to do, by the way. They didn't have to do that. That was something I saw coming, but they didn't have to do that. They could have just kept the characters the same way the entire time and not have touched them, and then just focus on the newer characters. Like, imagine if in Genshin, you know, they got the Notland characters out. Imagine if they updated Tartaglia to have like a completely different moveset. Like, instead of him being able to do like the bow and the blades, instead he like switches up, and now he has like some sort of extra mastery effect where while switching, like he has some meter, which when it fills up, now he has like some crazy fucking like katana or something. I don't know. I'm just throwing shit out there, but like basically something like that. Like update previous characters so they're still relevant, because Genshin's issue with me at least is like their characters don't do shit. It's like they have 20 million fucking characters that all just stand around cheering and saying random bullshit, and they're all just here for no reason. At least with Zenless, the way they did it works because they have them have jobs. The urban setting works because they can give characters things to do, put them in certain jobs, have them do like different tasks that actually tie into the world, instead of it being like some open area thing where like they'll have 20 characters in one city where yeah, they might do something, but it's like, oh well, by the way, I was going to the store to go get eggs. Here I am. Let's just have a conversation about like my backstory. That's how I feel like Genshin goes, and then Paimon talking in the background is just like, it kills me. And Paimon just chimes in because she's hungry. It's like, oh shit, I want some eggs. And it's like, okay, Paimon. And there's been a whole lot of shit going on with these voice actors. A whole lot of shit. It's insane. Like there's an entire like section of Zenless, like the voicing is just gone because voice actors are not there. It's just crazy to me. Can't explain
the same
it.
thing was happening with Honkai too, because they have the like 2 or 3 of the main characters recently have had no voice.
That's
right, because of this
insane.
stuff.
That it's the main characters that don't have a voice.
Like Don Hung is one, and I know Himeko, she's one of them that doesn't have any voice lines. I can't think of the others at the moment, but like those are like 2 like the main people, because the main 5 is like outside of those 2 you got the default character, which the default character already doesn't talk, so yeah. And
So
then
they
you
don't have to
have,
worry about. You know what? That's actually one thing they did right. Not give the main character a voice so they don't have to hire anybody.
I mean, technically they do, because you do hear like the voice lines a little bit, but like
You mean the
they're
grunting?
not. No, but remember, like sometimes they do have like a little cutscene
Oh, you're
where
right.
they're like,
I didn't think about that. I thought it was just like, oh, every once in a while they might do like some grunting or some shit, to where it's like, okay, we can just have like some random person from the team do this for us and it'll be fine.
no, like you'll have the occasional. They will have the occasional cutscene where they're like talking stuff, but what I mean is like they really, most 90% of the time they're not talking. You know, like it's just like text, and then there's like March who talks, and then Welt who talks. But like for example, in the current Honkai storyline that's out now, which is the one, it's a Greek theme, and it's actually a really nice storyline. I notices like after like some of the stuff with the the boycotting. So like fortunately, like most all the characters that are like in the actual like new story right now is like talking, like they do talk. But the only thing I would say is that even though they do talk, like the rest of them don't. Like what I mean is like, okay, I'll give an example. Like we have like I was saying Don Han doesn't talk, right?
Yeah.
So he, like in the story right now, is just mainly him and the main character, like that are like together, and then like it's just the new characters. So like what is you and him alone most of the time, and it's just no dialogue because he's not talking, and then you know what I mean. Like it's just a lot of no talking everywhere. Like they do have, like I said, the new characters do talk. So that's the one good thing about it, is like they will talk, because you know, obviously like they are talking.
Yeah. I don't know. This is. Let me see. I guess it's because we're used to games that have already been done to where the voice actors aren't needed to be like live service. These live service games are killing them right now. And that's probably why they're so money hungry, is because they have to keep the game alive like constantly. And, you know, they're on a timer basically. If they don't get something done within a certain amount of time, players are going to get bored and move on to something else. They have to have all these events come out. They have to update the game constantly. They have to have like these voice actors on call basically to be like, hey, we need this. We need your voice in here for this character for this specific event at this time. We got to have you record a bunch of shit. And if something happens with the voice actors in any language, they're just gone. Like they can't replace them. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's not really a good thing. Like, I feel like they could like work on it, but I can't even blame like the voice actors because a lot of times, like, I'm gonna be honest, like even though I get annoyed because I'm thinking about it, I was like, bro, like you signed up for whatever you signed up for. Like in some ways, I'm like, go like unless like they're just treating you bad or something, like you know what I mean, like I have kind of don't understand,
Mm,
but at the same time, I kind of get it because it's like, hey, like if they, you know, if there's something they don't like maybe it's like they want more pay because you know Star Rail's like a success or something, or like let's say with Zenless, right? Like, oh, you have people playing Zenless, and it's like, okay, well, where is my bonus? Because like part of the reason why Zenless is a success is because of my character, my voice. You know what I mean? So it's like I do get that because it's like, hey, you know, like clearly they're obviously like, oh, they're attacking me. Oh, sorry, I'm getting attacked.
so
My
I
weaklings, but
so I know what you're talking about, and one good example is Hugo, right? Remember Hugo?
nah,
He's that wolf guy, the butler.
yeah,
So one thing that got me was I like Hugo, right? And I thought he was a pretty good character, and I wanted him for a while because I needed an ice stunner to complete my team with Ellen and Sokaku. So I was like, okay, I want him. So I like his voice, I liked him as a character and what he stood for and all this other stuff. His fucking beginner cutscenes are fucking awesome. Now, with the voice actor change and the way they are portraying the story, Hugo is so fucking cringe right now. And it's terrible because wait a minute, not Hugo, Lycon. My bad. You know what I'm talking about now, right?
you're talking about
Lycon is the same wolf
the
guy I was
dog
just
guy,
mentioning.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no, I know.
Yeah, so Lycon, they changed his voice actor, changed everything, and then when Hugo came out, all of a sudden, the two of them are just fucking cringe. And even the characters stated in the story, like something about Hugo being cringe or whatever, which I'm gonna be honest, saying your character is cringe in game doesn't help the fact that he's fucking cringe still, and I don't want to play the damn story. I haven't finished the main story because I hate Hugo. I don't like him because he's just like he's doing too damn much, and the way they tried to do his backstory with Lycons is just really weird because they mentioned this in their dev talk where they were going to basically make the story involve some of the tapes and stuff more so that they could tie things in together more coherently, which they don't. That's another thing they don't have to do. I'm okay with the tapes and stuff, but it's like if the tapes are going to give you information that is inherent for you to know to understand everything that goes on in the main story, then do you really expect your players to really go that in depth into it just to like get everything? I feel like the main story should be the main story. Like, you should know everything that's going on and you shouldn't have to dig for information. With the tapes, that's extra information that you don't have to know. But if you want to, you can. That's the point of them being side quests. You shouldn't have to do a side quest to know what's going on in the main shit. It's like, apparently there were some tapes with Hugo and Lycon that I didn't look at, and now I have no idea, like, this extra shit that they have going on, or this extra story, or this extra background that I'm not aware of. And regardless, Hugo is still cringe. And even like Hugo came out the womb cringe, literally. He's literally just like that. Because even from like what 10 years ago in game, he's like talking about like, oh, like, we're not supposed to be friends with anybody, we're supposed to betray each other and do this and that, and we're supposed to be like this. And I was like, bruh, you are ridiculous. Why are you hanging out with Lycon, and why do people consider him your friend? Because there's literally an NPC who was talking to Hugo, like, present day, and I was like, oh, how's Lycon doing? And Hugo is just like, oh, like, I'm not with him or something like that. And I was like, didn't they have wasn't there falling out apparently like years ago? That'd be like if I had a falling out with a buddy, and then about 10 years went by and you asked me how he was doing. And I was like, you know, I haven't been with him for like 10 fucking years. Why the fuck are you asking about him? It's like,
Yeah.
It's not relevant.
Basically, like, oh, so Richard, how's Breon doing? Like, oh, talk to that.
Well, it's like, for example, it's kind of like, what was I about to say? Sorry, I lost my train of thought for a sec. It's just like, it doesn't make any sense. They never got along in the first place. They may have had a team for a second, but the way Lycon was presented in the beginning of the story is just, he's just so himself that it's kind of like, you can't, like, how did he get mixed up with this dude? And it's not, their relationship isn't interesting either. At all. Like, you just know that they got together for some reason and they were just there, like, working on the same team. And besides that, it's just like, okay, it's like they're not really friends. They don't seem like friends. So why are people acting like they were supposed to be buddies, or they were supposed to be on the same team?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not. I don't believe that shit.
Yes, they are.
You're trolling.
Hey, Carlos.
Hey.
Guess what I'm on?
Pokemon MMO? I don't know.
No. I'm
Yu-Gi-Oh.
on pal shit. I would be on Yu-Gi-Oh, honestly.